What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This here's Legitical Response. I cover political news, and I got a pretty good news article for you guys today. It's kind of, on the lighter side. We're just talking about war, for crying out loud, because we've got escalating war. We've got escalating tensions in the Middle East. War's escalating in Europe. It's looking like World War III is right around the freaking corner, and our incompetent federal government under the Biden administration is not doing a damn thing to try to slow down, to try to calm the situation. Some de-escalation would be nice. But what do these people do? They try to escalate situations. This is just getting outrageous. Let's get into the article right quick. Check this out, y'all. Trump suggests Israel should hit nuclear weapons facilities in Iran following recent missile attack. Yes, this is what you do, right? We get this argument coming from the Biden administration. As a matter of fact, Anthony Blinken came out and told us that, Iran is only weeks, maybe a month away from a nuclear weapon. And what does Biden do? Biden tells Benjamin Netanyahu not to target the nuclear weapons facilities. Huh? Wait, do you want these people? Right? They made this deal with Iran. This was one of the most insane deals I think I've ever seen, and it's the very first situation that made me kind of start paying attention to politics a little bit. When I heard Obama come out and start talking about this, I'm like, what are they thinking? Like, even as a younger person, I was a young adult at the time. I forget how old I was. I was in my 20s, though. Like, to hear that, okay, so you're going to help Iran to make nuclear energy, a nuclear power plant, essentially. You're going to give them the technology to make a nuclear power plant, right? This is opening the door for them to learn the technologies to build a nuclear weapon. This was the argument. What are you doing? You're giving them the keys to the house, the nuclear weapons house. That's what you're doing. Do you really think because you put some UN inspectors in their country, in these places, that they're not going to take this technology and go off here in secret and develop nuclear weapons? Do you really think that? You would have to be one of the most ignorant people to think that wouldn't happen, right? And guess what? That's what they did. But hang on, what do? Oh, wait, hang on. They're trying to blame that on Trump for pulling out of that deal. They're trying to say, oh, well, now that Trump pulled out of that deal, that gave them the open door. You gave them the keys to the house in the first place, right? You gave them the technology to do this instead of trying to prevent them from propagating nuclear weapons. This is just insane. And let's get into this, because I'm about to lose my freaking mind on this. Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump said Friday that Israel should hit Iran's nuclear research and weapons facilities following the recent missile attack on the Jewish state. This is exactly true. That is what they should do, because, hang on, you might say, that'll escalate things. Sure, it sure will. Yeah, most certainly will. But guess what? It's going to take out their ability, right? It's going to destroy all their research, right? If they're going to do this, if they're going to go in on this line of attack, they need to know exactly where all their nuclear facilities are located. That's what I would say. He's right, but only if they know for sure where all of these facilities are at. You got to hit all of them and destroy everything. Destroy all of it, right? Biden also came out and said, oh, well, you shouldn't attack their oil either. And I think that's politically driven. Most certainly that's politically driven, because for a fact, hang on, you destroy their oil. That's one of the first things you do, right? You go after their oil production, because that's going to shut off their war machine. They can't drive tanks. They can't build missiles if they don't have oil production. Like, that's what I don't get about this just stop oil movement in the world, right? Oil is the basis for our entire economy. It's the backbone for the economy. It's the backbone for our modern way of life, right? I understand the climate, right? I totally get it. The climate's warming. We've got climate change, and we need to do something. We need to be good stewards of the planet. But you know what? Destroying the oil industry, it's going to destroy society, essentially, because the technology to replace oil if that even exists, isn't here yet. It's not sustainable yet. We just can't do it yet. And I don't get these people. They just want to destroy this crap. But that's what you do. You go in, you take out their ability to conduct war. If these people are building a nuclear weapon, you take that out so they can't build a nuclear weapon. For crying out loud, Joe Biden. Like, I say it all the time. Joe Biden is one of the most incompetent presidents we've ever had, and that proves it to me. Not like that should be the cherry on top of the whipped cream, on top of the lemon meringue pie that they built of incompetence. That's what that is, y'all. Let's keep going. President Joe Biden was asked about how Israel should respond to Iran's attack earlier this week. Biden said that they shouldn't hit the nuclear stuff, according to Fox. I think he's got that one wrong. Isn't that what you're supposed to hit? Trump said about Biden's answer during a rally in North Carolina. His answer should have been, hit the nuclear first, worry about the rest later, Trump said. On Tuesday, Iran launched approximately 200 ballistic missiles into Israel. Back in April, Iran launched mostly drones into Israel, which take hours to reach Israeli airspace, while ballistic missiles only take about 12 minutes to get there. Israel successfully intercepted most of the rockets fired with their Iron Dome anti-missile defense system. 2 Israelis were injured, and there was 1 reported death as a result of the missile barrage, that of a Palestinian man in the West Bank, according to the New York Post. So, I'm not going to say that's funny, but it's quite ironic that Iran backs Hamas, like vehemently backs Hamas, and then they fire enough missiles in a certain direction. Like, they could totally just not fire missiles at the West Bank, but they did. So, killing one of their own people. That's insanity to me. But look, this war has been escalating and escalating and escalating. And Joe Biden, they keep talking about, oh, there's this ceasefire deal that we're working on. But I haven't seen any evidence for this. Right? Like, they keep telling us that there's this ceasefire deal that's almost there. But yeah, I'm not so sure about that. I am not so sure about that. Iran has stated that the attack came in retaliation for an Israeli airstrike in Lebanon that killed Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah. The White House said that the Iranian attack was a significant escalation. On Thursday, Trump told Fox News, to take the statement, please leave their nuclear alone. I would tell you that that's not the right answer. That was the craziest answer because, you know what? Soon, they're going to have nuclear weapons, and then you're going to have problems. That is right. That is what you do. If they're about to create a nuclear weapon, you destroy that creation. You destroy their capability to produce nuclear weapons. You make them have to start over from scratch. That's what you do. You don't allow them to complete the weapon, because what are they going to do? They're going to launch that weapon, because Iran doesn't give a damn. Iran is insane. Putin, not so much. Iran, I think they would most certainly launch a nuclear weapon against Israel. It would probably be shot down, but, with a weapon of that widespread ability to destroy things, I don't think the Iron Dome could protect them. Like, the Iron Dome would hit the missile, but the explosion would be so large that it would probably damage a lot still. But, this is all just crazy. That's what you got to do. And Biden, I don't know what he's thinking with this, y'all. Like, this escalating of war, right? You can't not retaliate after somebody fires missiles at you. I think all this should stop personally, right? But I know it's not that easy, right? I know you can't just go in and just stop this, because these people are going to continue to do what they do. You've got to get rid of Hamas. And at this point, you've got to get rid of Hezbollah as well. Houthi rebels also. Terrorists. We need to eliminate terrorists. Trump did a pretty good job of getting rid of ISIS. He destroyed their capabilities outright. And that's what Israel needs to do with Hamas. However, once again, they need to chill out with the civilian deaths, right? Like, all this just bomb first and ask later crap. that's been going on in Palestine, in Gaza, that needs to stop, right? They're killing way too many civilians. I understand both sides of this one. Those same civilians that are getting killed voted for Hamas to be their government. That's insane. How do you vote for a terrorist organization? Right? And I say this all the time. You vote for terrorism, that's what you're going to get. Right? That's the claim. That's what all these lefties say, that Israel, the IDF, has become a terrorist organization. Well, you know what? Some say that's poetic justice. I don't like war. I don't like death. But, I can look at a situation. I can back up, take in all the evidence, at least what I've seen so far, and look at that situation and say, they voted for that. Who are we to tell them that it's wrong? They wanted this. That's how I see it. I still say it's wrong to kill civilians, and I still think Israel should chill the hell out, because we don't like seeing civilian deaths, because they may have voted for it, but, there's also the nuanced, aspect of this, that they may have been kind of forced to do that. They may have thought that their life would be in danger if they voted against Hamas, because it's a terrorist organization. So they may have been compelled under duress to vote for Hamas. I understand that. That's why I say that Israel needs to chill the hell out with the civilian deaths. Look, it's going to take a lot. It's going to take a whole lot. You got to go in there, surgical strikes, get rid of Hamas that way, instead of just dropping these 2,000-pound bombs on the civilians and killing civilians. You can't do that. I understand that there's civilian to combatant death ratio is pretty good. It's comparable to every other war. But, the civilian deaths in this day and age, when we have cameras everywhere, we have the internet, people can get this information. It doesn't look good, right? Like, we couldn't do this for Vietnam, World War II, none of the wars previous, right? We didn't get this kind of coverage with Afghanistan. We didn't get this kind of coverage with the Iraq War. None of that. We're getting first-hand accounts, essentially, of civilians getting blown apart by IDF bombs. And it's horrific. It's horrifying to watch some of this stuff. Right? And I'm right there with these people that Hamas needs to be put down. They need to be euthanized, I guess you could say. Need to be eliminated. Get rid of them. We need to eliminate all terrorist organizations. We don't need terrorism. And that's calling, to get rid of these people, but they also need to be held accountable. I'm not saying that they need to be killed. I'm saying that they need to be brought to justice. Put these people in jail. Arrest them. Hold them in jail. Whatever you got to do. If it means dropping a bunch of bombs on terrorist organizations, then so be it. If that's the only way you can do it, that's the only way you can do it. But I still think that holding these people accountable is what needs to be done. And Israel might not have the ability to do that outright. That would take a major undertaking. I think the United States could probably do it. But Israel is not the United States. And I'm ranting, folks. So I want y'all to let me know what y'all think about all this down in the comments section. Because to me, this is just crazy. Just craziness going on. If Israel is going to strike Iran, they need to strike the nuclear stuff first. Get rid of this. Blow it apart. Disable their ability to create a nuclear weapon, for crying out loud. We already have too many nuclear weapons in this world. We don't need more, especially in the hands of a terrorist state like Iran. But y'all let me know what y'all think. That's all I got for this one. I want to thank everybody for watching, and y'all try to have a good day. Stay legitical. Peace.